It's the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show with Lady Luck, Bad Bunny, and I go by Miss Lissa. We gon' wake that ass up. Alright, it's the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show, and Cheese Show. Let me give you what you need, yo. You need, yo. Every 3 times a week, yo. A week, yo. It's the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show, and Cheese Show.
Yeah, bacon, egg, and cheese, about to wake that ass up. Girl, who is you playing with? Wake that ass up. Told your big daddy when you wake your ass up. Yo, what is you waiting for? Wake that ass up.
After we do the show, then stop. Then what? Subscribe it like it's hot. After we do the show, then stop. Now what? Subscribe it like it's hot. Now subscribe it like it's hot. Now subscribe it like it's hot. BEC, so subscribe it like it's hot. So subscribe it like it's hot. So subscribe it like it's hot. BEC, so subscribe it like it's hot. So subscribe it like it's hot. Subscribe it like it's hot.
I'm not usually in the big box. I'm usually in the small, but I like the small boxes.
My box is very small. It's extra.
Yeah.
Just real small. Good morning.
Good afternoon. Yeah. What's good, Lady Luck? Can you hear? I can't hear you, Luck.
I can hear you, Babs. Can you ladies hear me? It's a sound check. Luck is going out.
I can't hear you, Luck. What's going on, boo?
I can't hear Luck either. Share the love, share the live. In the meantime, we are getting everything together.
My bad.
We know you're probably not used to seeing Bunny in that big box, pause. But Luck keeps getting blocked, baby. We don't know what she's doing, but she is trolling the wrong people. Somebody at Instagram is owed a verse, and they are coming for Lady Luck's head, baby.
I know Instagram is a liar. Instagram is a liar.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know that we are lit today. Welcome to the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show. I am number 3. What up, Chase De Niro? Hey, Babs, pay attention to the cue. We got our special guest coming up really soon. What's going on, Miss Lissa? You got all the fly glasses. I'm just so jealous.
He's here.
Don't be jealous. Just go to MissLissa.com. Get your eyewear.
Oh, man, ladies and gentlemen, we have the legend.
Okay.
We have the legend, Erick Sermon, in the building. Erick Sermon, E-double. Producer extraordinaire. What's going on, E?
What's up, y'all? Hey, Babs.
Good morning.
Huh?
Hey, E, good morning, good afternoon. You already know the vibes. Hey.
Hey, B, I said what's up twice. You didn't hear me.
I did not. I'm sorry.
We're having phone issues. Hi, welcome to Bacon, Egg, and Cheese. I'm Miss Lissa. Mr. Sermon, we are excited to have you on the show.
Hey, sis, what's up?
Miss Lissa. Miss Lissa, that's Erick Sermon, E-double, Green Eye Bandit.
I'm talking to Luck, acting like I'm brand new. Sis, what's up?
well, E, I was about to get into it. I was about to get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, the only reason why you even know about a Lady Luck is because this man right here, Erick Sermon. So I just want to let y'all know. The only reason why you've ever heard of Lady Luck is because of Erick Sermon. I was going to get into the history of everything. You know what I mean?
No, I wanted to just make sure you wasn't acting Hollywood. I want to get
Nah.
So Bab and Liz, I know this woman right here. So don't. I'm not playing no games. I know her.
You know me.
Okay, well then let's start off with you telling us what something that we don't know about Lady Luck that you know since you discovered her. Give us a fun fact about Lady Luck that we don't know.
I'm not even giving a fun fact. I'm just giving the fact that it's kind of messed up. It's like another MC on here with Babs on here too. When you got lyricists, I want to get that off my chest really quick. I feel that, like, I don't know what happened, man. Like, except for I wish I can get to a whole big thing with you, Luck, about Def Jam. But Def Jam was a label that always wanted to be in the right budget, meaning that they didn't spend money, meaning that if the record went, it went and it blew up and they got behind it. And this is not me disrespecting the lady because that's my label. I love them to death. But at the end of the day, they didn't really do that for people on that level, you know, because I came from an independent. I was already number one when I got to Def Jam. Already was number one 2 times in a row as an independent before I got to Def Jam. I got number one to Def Jam when I got there the first year. I went number one, so I was 3 number ones in a row. But I already had that momentum. I thought I would be extra there. If I'm already gold someplace else, then my next step is to do 1 million records in the next big place. So something was, I didn't understand that. So going back to Luck, I feel that the shot that her behind EPMD, behind Redman Meth, there's no way in God's earth that woman with those lyrics was not supposed to be one of those stars at that time. I just wanted to say that before, a long time ago. I never got a chance to tell you that, but I'm telling you that now.
Do you feel like it was partially because maybe the industry wasn't ready for an artist of Luck's caliber? Also, aesthetically, she wasn't dressed like most female artists at that time. Like, she was more of a tomboy vibe. She was more of a lyricist where women were being over-sexualized and they were stimulating with their lyrics, like sexually. Do you feel like she was ahead of her time, potentially?
Hey, T, listen, when you had a label as big as that, through a major like that, I can make her sexy already. If Lex is doing that with the hair, lipstick, doing what she want to do, whatever, same shit. That means, yo, we're going to switch something up if we had to. So she didn't get the chance to even do that. You know what I'm saying? You have to have, that's what A&R was for, people that did things like that, to make sure we had a publicist team or had a team. A label does that. That means we're going to make sure that we tell her to do some things that can make her, so we can make sure that, she wins. She didn't get the shot to do that. So it wasn't about her. It's about the people not doing what they had to do to make her that.
Well, to keep Lady Luck from not committing suicide. No, in my opinion, I think it was a bunch of different factors. But thank God I'm where I'm at right now.
I gave you the factors. You done. You ain't got to even talk. I gave it all.
And you go. He gave it all.
He already told you why it didn't work.
Did if he said, hip hop gamer, I see you. You already know the bop. Look, you already know how I feel about you. One of the illest, period. You know what I'm saying? Period.
Factory.
Well, so I mean, it wasn't as easy for female rappers back then, and I love the way that the world is now. I love the social media. I love the streaming. I love everything. It makes it a lot easier for artists now. That you don't need no $1 million budget. You don't need no $500,000 budget. And I thank God I don't look like what I've been through. And I thank God for all of the doors that's being open right now. Yo, E, I don't know if you know, but tonight is our first episode on Rock the Bells. They just picked up Bacon, Egg, and Cheese. So
huge. Yo, LL, see, Todd's my man, because I'm in business with Todd too at the label 300. Me, him, and Kevin Lyles has got.
Shout out Kevin.
Yeah, so we got our own like situation up at 300. So LL's my man.
That's fire.
LL knows, and he's doing the right thing for our people right now.
Amen.
Fire.
So yes, everyone, please come back. We're giving you 2 installments of Bacon, Egg, and Cheese every Friday. First, we're going to pop up at noon, dishing topics, and then at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Rock the Bells Instagram channel, we're going to do a talent showcase. So rappers, poets, anybody who wants to be highlighted on the platform, please hit us up. The BEC Show at gmail.com. Al.
And I appreciate you, E, for pulling up. E called me. That's why the phone went paused. E was like, yo, look, I'm a little under the weather. I'm not feeling good, but I'm still going to pull up. I said, E, you don't have to, man. We'll explain. He was like, nah, I don't want your viewers looking at you crazy. So shout out Erick Sherman.
No. I got COVID 2 days ago, and my sister, she called, and it was the first day was bad. Then the next 2 days is okay. But my thing is this, man. If I can do it, I don't want you to have that report that, yo, you know what I'm saying? Somebody didn't show up. No matter how I'm feeling, I'm in my house. When I go to the phone with you, I'm gonna lay my ass down. you know, so you know what I'm saying. So
well, I
it's
appreciate
cool. I
that.
ain't going nowhere, you know?
I appreciate that. And E, let me tell you something. I've been cashing in all my favors. I've been DMing everybody. You better pull up. I just hit Cisco and Nokia for next week. I said y'all better pull up on the show. So definitely, I'm in everybody's DM, and I appreciate the love that we're getting.
I think that you're gonna have no problem from Def Jam. I think anybody that was on Def Jam, I think that you will be good. You know what I mean? I think look, you have no idea, man. Like you was people talk. Don't forget, man. On that record, you went last, B. You went last after all of us. That's a lot of work to come on last, no matter what. After all that, you know what I'm saying? So respect was given.
Yo. So the
Can
record
you tell us
talk
how
about,
you
ladies and
discovered Lady Luck? Like how you saw her, how you found her, how you felt when you saw this, how you reached out to whomever to get in contact with Lady Luck. Can we get that backstory?
See, I'm not really the one that discovered her. She really got discovered by Def Jam. I just took her under my wing because
E. Red heard me on the radio. He called you, and then you called Kevin.
Oh, so I'm bad. I'm losing it right now. I'm bad.
Nah, I'll never
okay, you know what?
that, man.
I take the credit there. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is legendary for me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is legendary for me. I remember when they told me that I was going to be on the Symphony 2000 remix, and I had a verse already, but I wrote the verse that's on there now in the car on the way down there. You know what I mean? And I spit the first verse for E. He was like, nah. And then I spit the other one. He was like, yeah, that's the one. And I mean, just to be on the record, you just come in, your first record out the gate is with EPMD, Redman, and Method Man. Absolutely crazy. And then we went to LA to shoot the video, and they told me it's gonna be a scary video. They wanted me to be the lady from
Carrie.
Who was it?
You was Carrie.
Yeah, I chose Carrie. They wanted me to be the other lady from Misery. So they had the bat, and they wanted me to do that.
Ankles, Misery, yeah.
And,
no, but that was, again, if that's true, but Luck was at my house like almost every day in my basement. I mean,
it was a long ride.
I mean, and we tried, but for some reason I felt that at the end of the day, I just felt like it was sliding because the new Def Jam was coming in. Look, if you knew that, the new Def Jam was coming in. It was kind of like, you know, and we was like, it was going down. So and inside of that, it just got misconstrued.
Another thing, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you could take this conversation and be like, oh, it's sad and all that or whatever. But let me tell you something. I was on Def Jam when Def Jam was at their peak. Yes. So it's Jay-Z and Rockefeller. It's Ja Rule and Murder Inc. It's Drew Hill and all of the artists under there. I mean, just walking through the hallways is a blessing. Just seeing everybody is a blessing. Going on tour. This is when DMX is at the top of his career. This is when everybody, you know, EPMD on the top of his career. Erick out here producing for everybody. So it was like, I'm in high school. This is college. You know, car service picking me up after school. I got on the Def Jam jacket. The kids is going crazy. I'm going up to Def Jam every day. I'm at the office every day. So, you know, shout out to Jazz Young, who I still like. And everybody still love me. Shout out to Tina Davis. Shout out to Kevin. So it was just so much love and such a learning experience for me. So even though, you know, whatever happened, God had me where he had me at that time. And this is when they at the peak of their career. I remember they came out with a list of priority. I was like number 27, and I wasn't mad because I ain't gonna tell you where Foxy was on that list at that time. But let's just say she wasn't too far off because it was so many artists, you know, that they had. Like to have a priority list of somebody number 27. Imagine where you at, like LL and everybody. I mean, everybody's putting out albums. There was nobody competing with Def Jam at that time. So you know, shout out to Kevin, Lior, you know, everybody. Randy Acker.
Randy.
Fire.
You said that you came in independent in a time where, like Babs was saying the other day, people would condemn independent artists. So can you tell us how you started as an independent artist, and do you have any tips for independent artists out now?
Well, back then, all of us was independent. You know, we all came through an independent label, but we was all through a major. We was subsidiary to a major. So that means like Erick B. Rakim was on 4th and Broadway, EPMD was on Fresh Records, you know, Boogie Down Production was on, you know, whatever that small one is before they was through Jive. So when I mean independent, it wasn't like we wasn't through a major, but we all came through small labels. Like,
okay.
Boy
like I believe Def Jam was more of a
yeah.
distribution company because Jay-Z was popping before he came there. Murder Inc. was popping before they came there. Yeah.
Yeah, but Jay-Z was also through where we came from, which is Freeman Records, which is Will Sokolov, which was an independent distribution. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same people who put him out, put EPMD out in the beginning. So all of us came through that system of an independent type of thing, and then the labels later on became majors. Def Jam became a major, but they still was through Sony or through Universal,
Arista or something like that.
When I mean independent, it wasn't like I was by myself. No, I was signed to an independent label.
So how do you feel about independent artists now and the difference of them actually having to do so much work? Do you feel like that's better, being that you did say that the major labels didn't put enough effort into Lady Luck, so now people can do it independently? So do you feel like that's better, or do you feel like the system still needs to be fixed?
No, the independent system is the best ever. And look back, it's always been. And the fact that we always going to be a part that it was never built for us to make money. It wasn't built for no artist to be on a record label. Well, you know, we never was going to make it. It was never built for, it wasn't made for us to make money. You made money from touring or whatever else that you did, because you never got no royalty check. You never seen no, see me, I'm different because as a producer, I saw my publishing, you know what I'm saying? But as far as an artist, that they had the tour, but still, even if you was R. Kelly to Whitney Houston, you only made 50 cents. It doesn't matter who you were. You wasn't getting no, it wasn't made for you. But right now, at this point with streaming is almost, it's so much money in streaming that you see more, and labels still making more than that. But
wow.
It's still a lot of money that we'll never see signed to a label. We need the type of money that we see in the streaming. Streaming is unreal, but they still kicking our ass, jerking us on the algorithms. No matter what, we still getting fucked. But at this time, being independent is way more money than you ever see being signed to a label.
That's the whole fact, because you could be signed to one of the biggest labels, and everybody would think that you got all this money, and no, you don't. That, like, they're paying for that shit. That's not your shit.
You saw TLC. You saw Bobby Brown say he had a VCR. That's the truth. The TLC sold 14 million records. I was with Left Eye. She's in the rodeo, a green rodeo truck.
So no,
that is the whole fact. I was living. I went from filming, making a band, living on Park Avenue. When them cameras went off, I went right back to East New York, Brooklyn. Okay?
Babs.
So I mean, there's so much history, and so I don't know where your book is or where your movie is. I mean, there's so much history with you. What did you start first? Because your rhymes is as crazy as the beats. Which one did you do first? Or was it simultaneous?
Rhyming first. My first record I wrote was Jane, that ended up being like where EPMD's whole albums would have Jane on it, but Jane, and I was, of course, hip hop hit me like it hit everybody else. You know, when I first heard it, I fell in love with it, and then when I heard Rap Is the Light, it was over. I was like, God, this was unreal. I couldn't believe this was something like this existed.
Right.
Run DMC came and it was over for me. I knew what I was doing. And then 2 towns from me was a dude named Rock Kim. I thought his name was Rock Wind when I first heard it. And he was, you know, we live in Long Island, so I live in Brentwood. He's from Wyandanch. And I heard this term, the bass, check out my melody, and now it's the God. I'm now it's born. I was like, yo, what the? And I lost my mind. And then the next week, I came in the door. I lost my mind. Then the next week, boom, yes, y'all, to the right beat, and you can even dance. And I was like, yo, I never heard nothing that funky. Rest in peace, Biz Markie. So I knew what I was gonna do, and not knowing when though. But when I moved to my grandmother's house, I met Parrish, and Parrish, after a while, heard me rhyme, and he was like, damn, man, you nice. And the part of town I'm from, which is called Regis Park, was a bunch of us up there. DJs, breakdancers, rappers. It was dope on that part of town where I was at. So Paris knew I was from there. So it wasn't no secret that guys from that part of town was dope. So, you know, he let me rhyme for his friends. And next thing you know, around 1985, we started making a demo. Then Paris was up in college playing football, so we had to skip that year. The next year, 86 came around. We had to skip that year. Then 87 came around like the end of November. And we went in the studio. We made It's My Thing and You're a Customer. And then we went shopping in Manhattan. And then we got a deal in 3 days.
Yo, 3 days. That's crazy. Your discography is so crazy because most people, they have a Wikipedia and they can list their accomplishments in that Wikipedia. But yours is so crazy that they have the Erick Sermon Wikipedia and then you have to go to the discography. So, I mean, no, seriously, because, you know, like, I know my guy and I know everything, but I still had to go research, you know what I mean? Because it's like, even when my Aunt Sylvia passed away, rest in peace, Sugar Hill Gang and all that, I didn't know as much as my aunt, who I eat Christmas biscuits with, until I went and looked at all her accomplishments. And so in 88, like, y'all had the game on smash. Everybody started wearing bucket hats after you. I don't care what LL's going to come out here and claim. So
he can't claim. I'd tell Tar right now. There's no. We got a book. Erick and Paris. I don't care what you're talking about.
So y'all had the bucket hats and all that. So how did it feel like going from being independent to now every radio system and this is the crack era, ladies and gentlemen. So everybody got big systems in their car. Everybody got big chains. Everybody got the Dapper Dan on. How did it feel? Like how was the emotion when you felt like, man, y'all had the streets on lock?
It's crazy though, because I was mad young though. Don't forget I'm 17, 18 years old. So I really didn't fathom what it was like. Because I'm not from the city, I'm from Long Island, so we didn't know what that vibe was on 145th, 125th, until we performed at Rooftop and performed up there. And I remember seeing AZ and Rico and them was in the audience at the time. You know what I mean? Because you in Harlem, so. And they're all watching us, and we up there. When you go outside, you hear you a customer in the cars. Nick, Patty, what? Yeah, but I mean, so whenever time you ride by, it was EPMD in the car. And then Chuck Tillout called for a show in the Bronx at the Stardust Ballroom. EPMD, Public Enemy, Super Lover C and Casanova Red, and we did the Bronx and we came outside. It's My Thing is playing. MC's out
crazy.
Right there. I mean, I couldn't believe it because again, I'm from. Then I went to the Apollo. Look, I'm not lying. I called my mom. I said, "Mom, there's black people everywhere." because T, being from Long Island, you know, it's mixed. You know, when we hear Puerto Ricans and whites and blacks, we're together here. So I never seen nothing like that. You know. I'm in the Apollo and I go outside, I'm parked outside and I'm like, yo, I pick up, I'm like, Ma, it's black people everywhere out here. You know, it's us being from the island, you know? So again, it was, I mean, going back, I was young, but after a while I understood, like later on, because I figured out the golden era. I tell everybody, I don't care who listening, you ain't never seen like that in your life, man.
Nothing. It felt, it was different. It was different.
The amount of MCs with the amount of records, that means Kane was Kane, KRS-One and KRS-One, EPMD was them, Public was them, NWA was them, Special Ed was them, Slick Rick was them, whatever. Everybody was different and everybody sold. There was none of this sound alike. Everybody was different and everybody won.
The good old days.
Someone told me you have to sound like somebody. That's bullshit. We all was different and we all was phenomenal.
Yes.
Nothing like it.
What was the moment?
You had the female rappers too. You had Light in the game. You had Latifah in the game. Moni Love in the game.
Yeah.
Hey, Beth, coming back to that, MC Light was one of my influence when I was, again, with the two songs I made, Erick for President and Nobody Beats the Biz. The other one was I Cram to Understand. Yo, look, I couldn't believe. I'm like, yo, P, what the hell is this? And he was another one too. That 1986, to MC Light. I'm like, because don't forget, me and Paris are the late ones. Out of all the bunch, we came last. So I get to hear Rick. I get to hear Rakim. I get to hear Light. I get to hear Rick. I get to hear everybody before we come. Before we come, I heard everyone to make sure I was okay when I came.
What was the moment that you knew you was on? Like, what was the moment? Like, wow, like we here. Do you remember that moment?
The first time it got played, Red Alert. It was 11 o'clock. His last song on 9.7 Kiss, and we heard the helicopters. And we heard the helicopters coming, and then we heard ka-ticking, boom, 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 boom. MC was out there. I was like, yo, me and Pat was at his dad's apartment, and that was it. I mean, EPMD was fast because of while the rest of the world was sampling James Brown and New York was doing New York sound, we sampled something else. We sampled grooves and melodies. And you know, we was baseline driven with grooves. You know, you got to chill. So what you're saying, this was not the regular stuff that New York was sampling. So that's why we tuned so fast. We took off. You know, the world, EPMD, we took off. Everybody came behind us. After we came out, they was behind us. Number one album. It was not you. Our sound, it reached the South because we had all the funk samples. We had all the samples that LA was gangbanging to. We was all the stuff that was out there that was famous in other places we sampled.
So E, I mean, because you guys are so legendary in the game, and I want to tell everybody who's listening right now, everybody who's watching, go back and listen to these albums. Go back and listen to these songs. I just did a freestyle last year on I forgot which one I did.
It's crazy. You was killing that. So what you saying?
Yeah. I forgot which one I did, but you're right. The samples.
So what you saying? I can't believe you was on that up-tempo beat like that.
Oh, E,
He already knew which ones. I'm playing with him. Okay?
No, because I'm sitting here because he's naming so many joints, and he's right. Like the way that the bass hit from those records, the way that they feel.
I'm telling her what the song is.
I know that's what I'm saying. She's not even paying attention.
No, I said when I first said it, I forgot which one it was. Oh, I know what it is now. Y'all got it. Y'all got to chill.
No, you were talking about your melodic samples, and this is true. And one of my favorite songs from you is Just Like Music, with the sample from Marvin Gaye. And I feel like you brought that sound to an audience that didn't know about Marvin Gaye at a time where hip hop was going in a different direction, the same way. Can you tell us?
Hold up, you told her something. Somebody done told her something. That's you saying some shit now, T.
My phone broke up. I'm sorry, I'm back.
No, he said, Miss Lissa, he's saying that somebody told you something. Miss Lissa does all her history, everything. Yeah. She's a hip hop connoisseur. Like she don't play when it comes to this.
Yeah. I don't. I truly love having you on the show. I mean, I love doing a show with Babs, Bunny, and Lady Luck every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because I am a true, like she said, hip hop connoisseur. So we do know that you sampled this Marvin Gaye for your song Just Like Music. But something that I did find out was that verse was put together from, like, I guess, verses that you had recorded previously and didn't use. So tell us why you used those lyrics. How did the song come about? And is there more to come?
Well, again, my homegirl, Callan Robin, knew that Midnight Love was one of my favorite albums. That was his last album before he passed away. So I knew the album backwards when I was 12 years old. So she was in London. She happened to come across the acapella of the whole album. Like, how you find that? So I drove to Brooklyn that night, Babs. Drove to Brooklyn. I left my house at 11, got to Brooklyn at 12 o'clock, got to my house at 1 o'clock. Look, I went in my basement, turned on my equipment. First of all, I'm going through the instrumental album. I'm losing my mind, right? So I start playing records. I get to turn on some music, right? And you know, this is you. It's so fun. I know the whole record, so it's going down. So in my head, I'm not listening to just like. So I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So I said, I'm gonna sample this part, and I'm gonna make a beat from the bass line noise in Jamaica. Jamaica's another song on there too. So Special Love. So I'm gonna sample the bass note from that. I'm gonna make a beat out of that. So I made the beat first, like 10 minutes, whatever, because it's an easy 1-2 and the boom, boom, boom bass line easily. So now I'm sampling just like, and this keep every 4 bars. So I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I'm listening to all the acapella in my head, and I'm hearing him, ooh, I'm so crazy. So I'm, you know, what up? So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna write around this. So that night, whatever I did, I kept it. So it took me 2 hours. I was done by 3. I called Cassie Carolyn. I did somebody, so I hit it back. 2 hours. She was like, oh, that's crazy. So she really didn't understand. She don't know, you know, whatever. So my boy Bernard comes over, Bernard Alexander.
Shout out Bernard.
Bernard hears the record. So he's like, yo, Erick, that's crazy. So Bernard leaves. He takes my CD, Gluck, and steals it from out of my cassette, from out of the player downstairs. We go to LA the next day, you know, whatever, for that Clear Channel convention. It was Clear Channel back then. And I'm coming at W Hotel. Some lady says, yo, your song with Marvin is incredible. I'm like, what? So now,
what?
I'm steaming now. I'm on fire, Babs. I'm like, yo, huh? So I said, Bernard. He said, I know, man. I had to get it because you said it was just for regular use and you wasn't going to play it for nobody. So I just took it. Because that was the truth. I only made it for me. The world wasn't supposed to hear that. I didn't make that for no single. I'm not going to be able to clear Marvin Gaye. I know this. So I made it only for me. The next thing you know, Clear Channel, the president, he takes it and says, I'm putting this on every station I got. And next thing you know, it went #1 from 8 to 80. I went for the Miami, I guess, spring break. Me and Tyson Bedford was on bikes. I couldn't get from one block to the next, right? The record was #1 in Miami. I saw Baby from Cash Money. He said, yo, Erick, man, let me tell you this, man. He says, people made songs before, but this right here, homie, this right here, man, this changed everything. And then I saw Outkast, I saw Dre. Dre sat me down and said, yo, man, nothing like that. Then Pharrell sat me down. Erick, nothing bigger than this. Then Premier said, Erick, you done fuck my whole shit up. So that record was so powerful, but it was never supposed to even leave my basement. That's the part that's so crazy. I didn't make it for the world. I made it for me to listen to.
Oh, Bernard, thank you. We owe Bernard some flowers for that. So thank you, Bernard Alexander. Thank you.
You know, he knows, yeah. He knows.
So we had Rockwaller on the show last week, and Rockwaller was telling us, you know, his journey and stuff like that. And he was telling me about his journey with Redman, and we know that you put Redman on. You are responsible for so many people's careers. Redman, K Solo, Keith Murray. It's so many people that you put on. Lady Luck. It's so many people that you put on. How did you and Red start working together?
Well, I met, look, I don't know if you know, you probably was too young for this, but I met Red at a club called Sensations in New Jersey.
I heard of Sensations.
Sensations was like you couldn't go in there and come out with the jewelry. Newark was not for anybody. Like when you say you go to Brooklyn, you go niggas robbing you, or you go to 54th and Manhattan, whatever they cut. That's how Jersey was. And
wait, you said 54th and Don't do that to my city. Back to your story. I'm sorry, Mr. Thurman.
He wasn't born then.
It was rough.
It was rough. But I met him, and he was with Do It All from Lords of the Underground.
Shout out Do It All.
And Do It All was rhyming, right? And Do It All said, yo, my DJ rhymed too. And I said, yo, spit something for me. He says, I float like a butterfly, sting like the rock group, right? I stopped him because the metaphor that he said, I float like a butterfly, sting like the rock group, was supposed to have been the Muhammad Ali whole line. But he said, sting like the rock group. I stopped him. I said, yo, I'm going to put you on stage tonight from 1 to 5. And I put him on stage. I already knew. I knew from the door what it was. Like, I was like, no. I knew from the door. Same with Keith Murray. we can squash the beef, cook it, we all can get fat. So now I'm watching him squash a hamburger, put it inside of a thing, and then watching it rise up as a burger from the, we can squash the beef, cook it, we all can get fat. Just from like certain things and metaphors that MCs do that you just know, like, yo, that's not normal. So I signed both of them on one-liners, and that's the honest truth.
I wish I would have met you. I had mad one-liners coming up. I would have hit you with a one-liner.
I mean, you got to come with more than that, though. After
I would have followed up, but I'm saying, if I could have just threw a one-liner and got my family out the ghetto,
I knew,
baby.
That's crazy. So Eats, people in the comments asking, somebody asked about 3-4 times to tell us the story about Tupac. Now I don't even know this one.
That was the Tupac story.
That was it?
Is there a Tupac story?
I don't know what the fans are saying.
Okay, because I'm like, that he done asked a few times. You know what I mean? Because I know Eric is so rich in history, and I'm going to throw it out there again. MC Search or whoever's watching, where is Erick Sermon's movie?
Oh, yo, you know what? Like, for the last 8 years, the EPMD movie has been talked about. And once the NWA movie came, it got really heavy. And the Hit Squad movie is in the works now, and it's heavy, though, because you got to imagine, man, it's DOS Effects, you know, EPMD, Redman, and Gaye Solo, and it's a lot of drama, but it's also some good too. But it's in the works now. And matter of fact, Snoop Dogg is doing it, you know, with his with the Lionsgate, and it looks like it's going to be good, you know.
What? But they pulling receipts out. They say in the Juice movie, they say in the bar scene, they pulling receipts out.
Well, maybe he don't want to talk about it. Ricky Lake.
Shout out Busy B. Shout out Busy B in the
maybe
comments.
He don't want to talk about it. You on your Jerry Jones?
What the hell is Ricky Lake? What the hell is that?
No, because I'm saying she's digging like a talk show host, and she like, well, maybe he was deflecting, and he does know, but he don't want to talk about it.
Shit, hell no. No, hell no.
Okay. So I know y'all was in the movie Juice. Any other movies that you guys have been in? Any other movies that you've been in?
No, but I wasn't in that. Now, Juice was an accident too. We was just on the set watching.
I have a question because, okay, Kanye West has been in the news recently because he's upset that Netflix is producing a docuseries about his life and he had nothing to do with it. Do you feel like that's an invasion of privacy? And how would you feel if your story was told in this way?
Yeah, I kind of upset too. That's why I think everybody's jumping to do their own stories first, because people are like, Lifetime does that to everybody. But like you see, like the Leah story was kind of whack though, Babs, because the music wasn't in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can have it being done, but the music makes it better. It makes it real. You know what I'm saying? So if it's not with the music and the whole nine, and somebody else, it's crazy, man. And not to be prejudiced though, man, but you got these white people who telling our story, man, which is crazy, man. Like, these blacks ain't telling the story. These are white person telling us about what we did and how it was. That's the shit that bugs me out, B. All these movies and documentaries are done by whites, except Dr. Dre and them being on the set, or BBD and New Edition being on the set after a while, but it's still in hip hop. Look at all our documentaries, all our stuff. It's been done by somebody else who don't know us. This is crazy.
They do it all the time. You even got people on YouTube now that does it. Like, they do this, like, where are they, or what happened to such and such, and they tell these stories, and then they don't even get the stories right. Somebody did a where are they on me, and they said I was from Harlem. I'm from Brooklyn.
Right.
You gotta be, maybe you had a different swag that day.
I'm gonna do my own shit. I'm gonna do my own story.
Now, a black person that is putting black stories out is 50 Cent. So 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson is partnering with Mona Scott Young to produce a show called Hip Hop Homicides for WeTV. Mr. Sermon, do you feel like this is a positive note? Do you feel like they're dry snitching? What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know about that. I ain't hearing about it. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, the first show that I remember being with E and was we performed at the Tunnel. Now, I don't know if any of y'all was blessed enough to go into the Tunnel. I know I was too young to be there. I remember that night when we left, Big Pun was in the car outside.
Yeah.
I remember it was so packed in there. The crowd was swaying, like you couldn't get through there. And
I was like that. Yo, look, I I keep forgetting that you was there that night. That's crazy, man. We did the tunnel and you was there.
Yeah, the first time, like my mom and my dad, shout out Choreo and watching in the comments, you know, shout out to my mother. They was in the front.
That's a movie that people, a documentary needs to see, is the tunnel documentary. That's right there.
I wish I would have been able to go to the tunnel. My only memory of the tunnel is the video they're walking through in Belly. Is that the tunnel?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, see, I'm like,
they tried to, well, it is a documentary about the tunnel, but I know Choke No Joke was trying to do it and he had issues, you know what I'm saying, doing it. He had a lot of footage because he had his camera out in the tunnel.
All the time.
And so, all the time. So he got so much footage on it, and I know he was trying to get it done with Flex, and I think Leon, who was the other guy who was it, Luck? Who was the guy that had a part of the tunnel, the white guy?
Yeah, he's the same guy that owned that church. I forgot the name of the club.
Osteen.
Yeah, but y'all could go do y'all research on that because they try. But it is like a documentary on the tunnel. But that shit needs to be a movie, like a real movie.
It does.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
Let's do it, E. Wait, E. Me and you, E. Let's do the tunnel movie. What's up?
Come on, Shark Tank.
We can't talk about it. We gotta be about it.
I know, but we need that footage though.
You'll find it. Let me tell you something. Babs is writing the script, and everybody who comes on the show, her movie's gonna be like, "Who's the Man?" Wasn't you a Who's the Man too, E?
No, I had the lead of the soundtrack for Who's the Man.
Okay, because I was about to say you sliding by in history talking about I wasn't in no movies, and we can find 5 movies with E-Dub.
I had the single for Hit and Switch, my first single after EPMD. That was the first single for Who's the Man soundtrack. Who's the Man?
Shout out! Yeah, that's another movie I need to go rewatch. So, out of everybody besides Lady Luck, who was the best artist to work with, or who are you most comfortable with that you've worked with outside of Lady Luck?
I don't know, man. Again, people that, as you know, like I worked with everybody.
Everybody.
Like I mean, people can talk about what they did, but I really did that, and I mean, I look at myself and be like, yo, wow, E, I did that. I mean, I worked with, I don't even remember them people. You know, that's the sad part about, you know, working with D'Angelo, Chico DeBarge, SWV, fucking
Angie Stone, Jay-Z.
I'm talking about the rap people we know, but the R&B, Blackstreet, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Chico DeBarge.
You know, all of these people you look at, whatever. And I have fun with you. I have fun with Mary. I have fun with SWV. I have fun with, you know, a lot of, because I like R&B way better than I like rap. But you know, I signed Alfonso Hunter and I signed Dave Hollister too. So I had both of them.
I love Dave Hollister.
So,
what do you feel about the state of music now with the mumble raps, the lack of R&B, the inaudible songs? Like, how do you feel about music and where it's going?
I feel that there's so much music that you probably don't know about, you do know about, that's out there that is incredible.
Yeah.
And because of the world that we live in, you know, you can go listen to a Lucky Day, a Sir, you know, that whole her, where all them is at, you know. It's so much Molly Music. They got so much fly stuff out there. It's not even funny, you know. Yeah. But so I feel that it's out there. It just ain't on our mainstream because, of course, they want to keep it. So they got rid of us that got intelligence because they couldn't pull the wool and jerk us anymore. We got smart. So that young kid that wants to be famous, no disrespect, he or she has to be taught, because they want that fame. And then that I can give you a couple of $1 million and you will be like, yo. And meanwhile, they making 100 million. And don't forget, to keep the ignorance going is what you have to do. You know, it's a sad thing, because luck to tell you, bad to tell you too, we had balance. That means, you know, we had Luke and them over here, and then we had De La over here.
Right.
We had Public Enemy over here, and then we had, you know, Rick over here. We had
Little Kim and Lauryn Hill.
Lauren, we had different type of things you'd be able to get to. Like Dress said, you can get with this or get with that. Now we got one thing going on. One thing going on. Bitches, money, jewelry, and every last one of them is getting murdered or either have a drug overdose. So because they pushing the drugs, they pushing the way of life as normal. And if that's all you hearing, don't forget, a white kid is enjoying the music. They don't live that life. So to them, they don't got to do they don't know what that is. They just join the music. We know what it is. So black kids, they do what they hear. I don't know if y'all understanding that.
Yes, they mimic what they hear because it's in their environment, as opposed to a child that's in the suburbs listening to it, that's going to go to soccer practice afterwards.
It's entertainment. They don't do that, what the record says. We do what the record says. To them, entertainment.
It's interesting you said that. Like one of the little kids I grew up with, it's a kid on my timeline. You know, I knew him since he was a baby, you know, from my church group. And, you know, he's maybe like 20, 21 now. And to see him with the scissor on his page, it's in his story, you know, him and his friends, they throwing up gang signs. I know that this is strictly influenced from hip hop because there's nobody where we're from who's, you know, like weed is different. You know, weed was everywhere. It's not, I can't blame weed on hip hop. Weed was just, you know, it's a natural.
Snoop said it was him. He said everybody was doing crack until he said, "Come on, baby, Hizzle, roll up right Hizzle." So we blaming Snoop.
I don't know if I want to blame
Chronic
because you wasn't smoking crack, right? I don't think everybody was smoking crack before Snoop said.
He don't let he smoke weed.
I never smoke or drink. My whole thing is this though. Look, it's like what we saying. It's cool if y'all want to make money. I get it, man. You trying to get out the hood. I get all that, man. But this right here is just like genocide. Dude, this was a plan though. Like I don't want to get into a whole big thing because right now I feel like shit. But again, this is a plan.
Stop saying that. You don't feel like shit. You're getting better. Don't tell the universe.
No, he's telling you how he really feel right now.
No,
bro.
you gonna feel better.
The plan to put us inside what we in is the plan. The plan to make sure that everything that is ignorant, that it blows. Don't forget, to them it's entertainment and money. They know it affects us. They know this.
But a lot of people, a lot of our friends that we named in the beginning of the interview are the ones pushing it nowadays. And I will say that, a lot of our friends that we love and care for, and I can name some names, you know what I mean? Because sometimes it was artists that came out at a certain time, and I couldn't understand why they kept pushing these artists, because these artists were selling 20,000 records, 50,000 records, and they were artists like Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And this is before this. I'm just saying that these two different time frames. Right. But there was a certain time where some of our friends that we had, you know, they went on and moved on and got their own label, and they continued to push the ignorance, continued to push the bullshit. And these people weren't selling a lot of records. So, I mean, I'm not going to call nobody out. You know, I'm not in the position to do that, but a lot of our friends is pushing that narrative. But
if y'all watch that thing I don't know if you watched that thing, people, with Crazy Bone, and Crazy Bone had gave that message about that secret meeting that people had in the beginning about incarceration, or the jails. Yeah, most of that shit is true. It's planned to do what it was supposed to do, and it worked.
So how do we change it? Or what do we do?
Right.
We already changed it, because right now, we like you said, we don't need them. So that's why people out here making some great music, and they're not on the air, and they're not on the airway, and nobody's talking about them because they aren't mainstream, but they still got millions of fans, millions of views.
Getting it back.
And getting it.
Yeah. I will say like that, like, you know, one thing that I appreciate about technology and appreciate it, it's like, all right, Lady Luck is in one position back then, and I'm dependent. You know, we talk about this all the time on the show, on 7 different publications. You know, we got the Source Magazine, Blaze Magazine, or whoever it is. But the beauty that I love now is, I don't know if you know, I'm doing music placements. and I had some big shows under my belt. You know what I mean? And that's all from just being on the internet, just doing this, just doing that. I dropped music, and I haven't dropped the album, I ain't gonna lie to you, since 2017. But my TuneCore every month is lit. You get what I'm saying? And there's people who countries I've never been to, countries I can't pronounce, they still support because you told the world about Lady Luck, E.
Come on.
You told the world about me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big show for me. I know we've had some amazing guests on here. I'm not going to cry, but this man right here really helped make my...
You cried on that other show. You cried on that other show. Cry.
Shut up. Shut up. This man right here really helped make my dreams come true. And I just want to thank you for everything, E. If I've never thanked you before, showing me the world, showing me music, opening your home to me, that dope-ass studio that you call your basement, amazing. Yeah. I just want to from the bottom of my heart, thank you for believing in a little girl from Jersey.
Now I'm on the front a little bit. Now I got my own building.
As you deserve, but as you deserve.
Homegirl right here, though. Look.
Yo, I'd love to pull up, you know, because I drive now. So I don't need car service. I drive now, but I would love for you. I'd love to come through and play some new music for you whenever you're free, man. I'll hit you after the show, and once you get better, you feel better, I'll pull up.
Hey, yo, come through. There's some. I got this new kid that's on Def Jam too that you're gonna like. This kid is a real rapper. My little nephew Halim and them just signed him, and this is my first time getting amps in a long time for some rappers. When I tell you though, Luck, you gonna like this kid, boy. This kid is venom.
Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. He don't give that to everybody. So if he's telling you they hot, because he's very hard.
How long it's been? I'm not trying to put myself in that predicament because it's something to do. I could go do business and go do what they do and go find that and go support that. I don't like that. I like rap. I like niggas that rhyme. That's what I like. Yeah. I can't put myself in that because of business. And one thing that's crazy, I was blessed not to be broke, so I didn't have to go that route. But I'm not doing that part to be in the mix because you what to do to make money. Nah, can you rhyme, nigga? You spit 16 for me. Let me hear what you're saying.
Yo, E, what was your first stadium? What's the first stadium you performed at? And how was that?
Back then, we used to do the same stadium 2 to 3 nights in a row. I mean, we used to do National Coliseum 2 nights in a row, Madison Square Garden 2 to 3 nights in a row. Whatever city we was in, whatever tour was, Hammond's tour, LR's tour, Run DMC's tour, NWA's tour. That's all we did was arenas back then. There wasn't no, we started off in clubs when we first started, but back then hip hop was arenas. There was nothing bigger than what we was doing. Hip hop was we shocked the world.
What was your first tour you went on?
The first tour was Run's House tour. EPMD, Gaye, Jeff and Fresh Prince, Public Enemy, and EPMD, Jack Fresh, Public Enemy, and
Naughty by Nature.
No, and Stetsasonic.
I just added them to the bill.
Okay, so let's get to this real quick before we get up out of here, because I do not want to miss this.
Okay.
The green eye bandit, the brown skinned brother with the green eyes. Where do them eyes come from? Did people always be like, "Are those contacts? Those not your eyes?" It was girls trying to get that spiderderm so they could get them babies with the green eyes. You know what I'm talking about?
Come on, Diane Sawyer.
Yes.
Hey, Bab, you know where I'm from, right, Babs?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm from Long Island, but my people's in Pink Houses, Brooklyn. That's why I've been on.
Okay. ENY Pink Houses, you already know.
But yeah, I told my moms. My grandfather had blue eyes, but he wasn't white too. He was the light-skinned nigga with blue eyes. But of course, he had that in him. But my mother got the same eyes as I got though too. But and 3 of my kids got him too. But when I was younger though, Babs, it's funny you said that. Niggas like, yo, E, you ain't playing fair. I said, why? He said, because you famous and you got those.
Yeah, nah, it's crazy. You're the first green-eyed rapper,
My grandmother told me don't trust no nigga with green eyes. She said they're liars.
So E, you was the first Mr. Steal Your Girl. You was the first one.
And then too, at the end of the day, they was like, Babs, answer Babs' question, Babs. It wasn't no contacts back then. So nobody had that in their head. So it was more, it was amazement. My mom said I used to be in the grocery store like about 7, 6 years old. And I used to grab on ladies' stockings, right? And they look at me and be like, "Oh, he's so pretty. Look at his eyes." So instead of them getting mad at me grabbing on their stocking, their legs, they didn't care about that part because they were so amazed about what these were. Cause
yo, cute kids could do anything. An ugly baby would have grabbed their damn stockings. They would have got
I'm calling the
out.
cops.
Whose baby is this?
the whole thing too was made so ill, Babs, because I was a dark-skinned kid with them. It wasn't like I was
That's what I said.
I wasn't being luck. That's normal for a light-skinned person. For a dark person, is not normal, and that was the weird part.
That's the whole fact. So can I ask you this? Do you wear shades? Because my boo got pretty eyes, and my boo said I don't wear shades.
My eyes are pretty to hell, and they brown.
Why should I wear shades?
I wear
Do
shades.
you wear shades?
Hey,
These eyes is pretty.
listen, man. I ran through New York.
Shout out to the girls with the pretty brown eyes. Everybody's eyes ain't green. That's a birth defect, okay? Your ancestors came from the mountains.
Wait.
That's a birth defect.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell us back and Bab and Sis ask that question. Look, I don't care who you ask. I don't care. This big black act. I ran through this. But when they talk about somebody who did this and Bab, no. The green eyes, I don't care who was a mother, cousin, sister, whatever, anybody that I even looked in the direction, and I was famous. So nigga, talk all that stuff. Nah, nigga, you wasn't me, nigga, at all.
There you go.
Talk your
good
shit.
hair. You don't need what's the good hair. I got the green eyes. What you talking
To
about?
all my 4C girls, your hair is good.
But listen, what happened?
Oh man,
He left
I don't know, man. The phone cut out, man.
Did you
but,
kick
you know,
us off?
I did not, but listen, I don't want you know how Instagram do, so let's wrap it up.
Yeah, baby, perfect.
Make sure you hit screenshot before you hit share, so we know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
This was an amazing episode. So sorry that Mr. Sturman just dropped off and we didn't get to formally tell him how amazing and how thankful we are. But we're so thankful to all the viewers. Don't forget, like Lady Luck said earlier, baby, we're going to be on Rock the Bells at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So lock in with us. It's a talent show. If you're talented, then pop on with us. Al?
Yeah, and before we go, ladies and gentlemen, life will take you up, like life will take you down, life will take you left or right, but God has you exactly where you want to be. So, you know, I know we talked in the beginning of the other show about luck could have been this, luck could have been that. And there were times where I was in deep, dark depression because I felt like the world owed me things until I realized that God has me exactly where God wants me. So what I would encourage anybody, no matter where you are, if either you keep going or you quit, both of them is going to hurt. So no matter what you're doing in your life, continue to keep going, continue to keep striving, continue to keep going, because consistency, nothing beats consistency. Not talent, not money, nothing beats consistency. So just make sure you locked in, and wherever God has you is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Come on with the final